The last Roundup
Horror Show.
Welcome to the last Roundup Horror Show. It's been a little bit of time, guys. We took a little extra time on this one, but we're back. I'm Frank. This is Jason. That is Jared. And we're talking movies again. Up first, from 2006, Abominable. I love saying it, you know. The summary for this film: a man crippled in an accident returns to the woods after rehabilitation, certain that he'll not see Bigfoot again. Which is kind of misleading because I don't believe he sees Bigfoot in the first place, right?
No, I don't think so.
Just falls off a rock.
Falls off a rock.
Written by Ryan Schifrin and James Morrison. Directed by Ryan Schifrin, who is known for a segment on Tales of Halloween and for being a score consultant on the Rush Hour movies 2 and 3.
Huh.
That's a weird credit, I think. Like he's a score consultant. But what else do you have for this?
Yeah, so he's never directed anything else, right?
Known for a segment on Tales of Halloween.
Okay, no other feature films.
No. Maybe some indie stuff or something.
I don't think no other feature films. Why? I mean, this wasn't that bad of a movie.
No. That's good.
Anyway.
But what else do you have for this? Any details?
Nope.
Nope. Well, this does have a really fun, like, throwback cast a little bit. It's got one of our favorite, Rex Lynn, who played Smith on Zombievers. He's one of the hunting crew. He's in there with Lance Hendrickson and Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, those two I would have said. A couple of our favorites, not the Zombiever.
I love that guy. We talked about him on the episode. Remember, he was one of the best characters.
Yeah, he was good.
Smith with a Y.
I'm just saying he's not.
He's not Lance Hendrickson or Jeffrey Combs.
Well, it also
although this wasn't Lance Hendrickson's shining.
Yeah, well, why are they in there?
Son.
They're there for like 2 minutes.
I was so bummed out when they killed him, man. I was like, you killed the best fucking people. Now all that's left's that dude from Paying That Rocks the Cradle.
Must have been paying them by lines because they didn't.
Yeah.
They're not in the movie very much.
Like it's still like I don't know what it was. Like I usually love Lance and everything. Like he comes in and it was like, oh, this was a paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
He does not.
He does have a really good line when he says,
care.
I like to kill shit, or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever it is, but
he does good.
The majority of his
he does a good job. Give him the
I'm not giving it to him.
Yeah.
He does not do a good job.
He doesn't get the award.
He could have been
he
reading.
Does what he needed to do is all I'm saying.
He could have been reading off a cue card.
Right. Even less featured though is Dee Wallace, who's been in a lot of shit. She was in Critters. She was in I looked at her IMDb page and it was fucking just never ending. But she's only at the beginning. For just a little bit. I thought they killed the fucking characters off too soon. Those women are fucking annoying.
There's no...
oh my God.
They are definitely the worst part about this movie.
Yeah, all it is, basically, most of the movie is the dude from Hand That Rocks the Cradle being kind of creepy with his binoculars, but his reactions are fucking priceless, man. When he's watching, like, just the looks on his face and getting fucking all shooken up. When he sees that woman get pulled through the window, which, by the way, that's a top-notch scene, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That whole segment, you'll enjoy it. The Bigfoot really doesn't look that great, in my opinion.
It don't look great, but
in anyone's opinion.
No.
But I don't mind it.
No, it kind of looks like. Have you ever seen that picture of the tiger with Down syndrome?
Yes.
It looks kind of like that. But why can't they just utilize the technology that Harry and the Hendersons had? Because that's probably the best Bigfoot I've ever seen in any movie, right? Do you agree with that?
They probably didn't have Harry and the Henderson.
That thing is sitting somewhere, not being used, man. Use it. I think they could repurpose it, though. I laughed out loud when the dude who's been passed out for this whole fucking experience, because basically the movie is dude who has been injured in a climbing accident is taken by force up to his old home.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a nurse or a physical therapist or what, but he's
a real asshole.
He's in blue jeans, but he's wearing a scrub top, and
Yeah.
he like grabs him and carries him upstairs.
Like a little baby.
Yeah. Kidnaps him to his house.
But but he tries to put him to sleep because he keeps seeing this Bigfoot thing and whatever, and ends up getting knocked out himself. But he's been passed out for the whole fucking movie, and at the end comes in, hits the fucking Bigfoot with an axe, like he knows what the fuck's going on. I guess you would just react that way.
It's like the Hitchcock film. What is that? Rear Window.
Oh, really?
The Window. What's the Window movie? The Hitchcock.
Rear Window.
Rear Window.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah. It's that with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Only not Hitchcock making the movie.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
but that was my favorite scene of the movie, was because
I'm shaking my head agreeing with you, but I've never seen that.
Immediately after.
Jimmy Stewart's in it. He's in a wheelchair. He's looking at people out the window, thinking he's seeing some girl get killed across the street, and so it's him kind of. I mean, it's this guy's story arc, except
yeah,
gotcha.
Different.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, this dude's been passed out for the whole fucking experience of what's going on. Comes in, hits it with the fucking axe, and then gets his face bitten off, which is the highlight of this movie for me personally. Yeah, I thought this was a fucking fun movie. I gave it an 8 out of 10. The only thing I think would be better is if when the end, whenever it's like that guy, if in the wheelchair is being dragged by that woman and the police car pulls up, if instead of a regular cop getting out, it was another fucking Sasquatch that was dressed.
Yeah. So they show shots where there's a bunch of them, right? Like some of them are as tall as trees.
Oh yeah. At the end, there's a whole bunch of them.
Am I getting that right? Like there's some
They're
huge
very
ones,
big,
and
yeah.
this one was
They're above the tree line, I think.
That's what I'm saying. They're up there with the trees.
family of them. They're big ones.
Okay.
Could have done without the cartoon eyeballs, but yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was fun. I'll watch it again.
I didn't see this when it first came out. Like I just bought this and watched it recently. But I think that I saw or heard that they went back and like touched up the CG, because there's still some bad CG in this.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it looked like before they touched it up, but at least for the Blu-ray release that I got, I don't know what. Anyway, that was touched up, so I don't know. When he opens his mouth though and stretches his mouth to eat, I
there's
thought
parts
that
where
was
it
pretty
looks good. Yeah. It was a fun movie. What'd you give it? What's your rating?
Well, I'm not going to tell you yet.
hold on.
There was a good cast in this movie. On paper, they weren't in the movie very often.
The dude in the wheelchair is a really good actor. He's
except for the girls. The girls in the house, you could have replaced them with anyone on the street. Just throw a stone. The acting suffers at times, and I think it may be because of the writing. Like the guy in the wheelchair. Did anyone else feel like you're almost listening to an audiobook?
Yeah,
like he narrates, he talks, and it's such just a mono, like an audiobook.
The one thing that I could not let go of the whole fucking time, once they get to the cabin, how the fuck is he hasn't been there for 6 months. His electric's on, his fucking internet's on. He's got all this shit that's on. It's like he never fucking left.
He's got a cabin in the mountains, man. He's got money.
Just keep that fucking internet rolling.
He's
buddy.
got people.
Satellite internet.
He's got people taking care of it.
The Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever. I think it looks pretty bad. It's practical effects, so you got to give him that. And I think it works. I think it fits the movie. I think it fits the tone. There's lots of little bad things in this movie, and I could sit here probably pick it apart. But at the same time, I think they're all forgiven.
It's just too fun to fixate on.
Yeah,
that.
Don't worry about it. It's a low-budget creature feature. It's pretty much all shot in one location, but in the snow. I really love horror movies in the snow. You got it. It's a man in a suit. It's a solid Bigfoot movie from at least the ones that I've seen. I gave it a 6.
Yeah, I think you guys have covered everything. I gave it a 5. I think I enjoyed it a little less than
I thought
everybody
you
else.
would have loved
but
this, man.
No, like it wasn't. It wasn't overly schlocky. I think the schlock kind of comes from just bad writing. Like, and I'm sure like that's half. Like, I really thought like watching Hendrix's scenes. It was just like, this is bad. This is bad. But it's,
you were looking forward to them being in the movie for a long time.
No.
No, really? I wanted it to be this.
I mean,
them.
not saying I wouldn't have won it, but that's not what I was looking forward to. It's just when I watched him, it's like he's got shit dialogue. The story about the guy super gluing his hands to the rhinoceros's ass and choking on shit. Like, I laughed at that.
The Darwin Awards, they give them out to people who died doing the stupidest shit. Like what? One of my favorites is this guy. This guy goes to a petting zoo with some of his friends, and he decides to demonstrate the effectiveness of crazy glue.
Crazy glue?
Yeah, you know that shit. He squirts it in both his hands, and he leans over this fence, and he slaps both hands onto the rear end of a rhinoceros.
You are
No, I'm not kidding you. No shit, this thing takes off, yanking this guy right off his feet, and all he can smell is ass. And unbeknownst to him, this rhinoceros has been constipated for a couple of weeks, right? So they give him a massive dose of this laxative.
The zookeeper.
Yeah. So this thing is charging around trying to free himself of this guy. And he's stomping on pygmy goats and ducks and all this stuff, and he starts shitting uncontrollably right in this guy's face. Paramedics come to try to clear an air passage, and this guy's buried under 30 gallons of diarrhea, man. What a dumbass.
Come on.
May God strike him dead if I'm lying. You don't believe me, Mr. Skeptic? Take a good look in the mirror. You're sitting out here roasting marshmallows looking for Sasquatch.
That was funny. But, like, I don't know. All the talking was... I'm not normally bothered by clunky dialogue, but this was clunky enough, like...
There's some writing issues.
I forgot to mention that the sheriff in this is the principal from Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
They even make a nod to it with his coffee cup saying, what's it say? Don't mess with the bull, you get the horns, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But
we're on him. Okay. Never mind.
But yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to watch Creature Feature and you don't have a lot of options, it's not the worst thing you could pick. Like, it was middle of the road.
Out of Bigfoot movies, Jared, where does this lie? Like, what Bigfoot movie is better than this, aside from Harry and the Hendersons, which we've already established is the best?
I don't know. I'd have to line up a list of Bigfoot movies off the top of my head. I'm not pulling out.
I haven't
any.
seen a bunch of them, but I've been reading up on a bunch of them, watching trailers, because I don't know if maybe this movie sparked it or what, but I'm really in a Bigfoot mood right now.
Well, there's one with Andre the Giant, I think. I saw a still from it, I believe. He was the Bigfoot.
I'm drawing a blank on Bigfoot movies right now. But for me, this was just middle of the road. I don't think you're missing anything if you don't watch it, but there's definitely way worse movies. So 5. It's got parts that are enjoyable and a lot of clunky stuff that just. So.
All right. Well, let's move on to our second feature. We've already done a sequel to this, which is kind of weird, but this is the original basket case from 1982. The summary: a young man carrying a big basket that contains his extremely deformed Siamese twin brother seeks vengeance on the doctors who separated them against their will.
Everyone should know what basket case is by now.
Yeah, written and directed by Frank Henenlotter. Yeah, that's basically it.
This one was one of the first VHSs I ever owned, and I can't remember exactly. The first 4 were this, Night of the Living Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and I can't remember which of the ones came first. Like, I bought them 2 and 2, but this was one of my first horror movies I ever owned.
I had this on VH too. Kmart always seemed to have this around Halloween. Of all the movies out there,
I think I picked mine up at Flying J, the truck stop in Beaver Dam, because this and Zombie. Through the 90s, this and Fulci's Zombie was in every truck stop VHS bin across the nation for a good 7 years.
I watched last night
for like $1.
Wow. Well, if you find this for $1, I suggest you buy it. It's you can smell the bologna cake right from the beginning.
No,
you don't think
this
so?
ain't, no, this ain't baloney cake.
You don't think this is
This
baloney
isn't
cake?
part 2 or 3. This is the first one. This is old. It's old, so
Okay,
the film quality and the effects definitely don't hold up.
Compared to part 2, which one did you enjoy better? We've already
Well,
done.
let's talk about it, and then we'll.
Well,
You can put up some the previous ratings.
right. I like the whole setting of it, and the grimy New York in the 80s is great anytime that you can get it. Dwayne's perm is fucking perfect in this movie, and Belial looks perfectly shitty, as he should. Dwayne pulls out a wad of money when they go to pay for he goes to pay for his hotel room. That was the whole budget for the whole movie. So they actually used it. The one thing I noticed watching this that I didn't think I picked up on when we watched 2 was that he has a padlock on this basket, which is like, that's probably the most pointless. That's the most pointless thing in the world, right? That's like a screen door on an airplane. It's really not worth much, and the dude just kicks it right off, like you do. Dwayne is completely irresponsible, of course. Why does he take him around all the time? He takes him literally every place. I thought it was funny, the stop motion animation they used in this.
Horrible, awful.
One of the funniest things I read was that at the end they planned on having Belial just walk the streets of New York, but they realized that was technically impossible for them to do.
Yeah.
And if you watch the stop motion, you can fucking tell. Fuck. I don't know why he took Belial around so much. That's why I kept writing down. Why the fuck does he keep taking him to the bar?
It's his brother.
But you carry
They're
around a
they're
big
the
ass
same.
basket with
They're
a lock
they're
on it.
one.
People are gonna want to know what's in there. And
Laundry,
He didn't want to leave him at home alone and locked up in a basket.
eggs.
He's not a dick. What if we left you places in a basket locked up?
but like the reason I say this is baloney cake, and I think it's not a bad thing, is that like things like there's so much ADR happening all the time. I think most of it is actually.
That doesn't make a movie baloney cake.
But whenever the girlfriend dies at the end, you can see her breathing. I mean, that's a baloney cake.
She's laying there naked.
All right.
That's what dead ladies do when they're naked. They breathe.
Stop staring at her tits so much you won't see her chest moving up and down, you pervert.
Oh, she's dead. I accept it. No, don't get me wrong.
Turn your head.
I love this, but I love everything that's bad about it. I love how Belial looks. I love the long monologues that Dwayne has of expositional speeches he does, highlighting fucking their same story. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a shit ass movie, but it's just a lot of fun. And, I think I like the sequels more because they go into like the freaks and stuff. So, but what's your thoughts?
You've said a lot of these words already, but it's a campy, low budget cheese fest. It's sleazy, grimy horror. It's the dirty slum of New York, which I love that setting. That's really cool. The stop motion Belial was horrible, I thought. It's a unique movie. It's got solid characters, practical effects again, even though some look awful. It's kind of just. I think it's a good representative of horror on VHS. Like, it's kind of what low budget horror was back then, and maybe one of the better ones. I gave it a 6.
I give it a 7, and I'm probably more in line with Jason's opinions on it. Like, this is of the Basket Case trilogy. This is easily my favorite.
If you were just to watch this movie now, a 16-year-old kid today, forget about it.
Yeah.
There's no chance of him liking it.
No, that's a hard sell.
This is easily my favorite of the Basket Cases. It's not even close, but it's because it's cheesy. The 2 and 3 went on to, like, they know they were cheesy, so they're being cheesy. This one takes itself a bit more seriously for all of the bad, which is what reminds me of the old 70s and 80s VHS. Like, they were genuinely trying to be creepy.
Yeah,
Like, this is an attempt at a horror movie, not an attempt to make you laugh a lot. You do laugh because the effects don't hold up at all, and it's low indie, shitty 70s horror movie. But this, like all that stuff that makes fun of that stuff, this is one of the best to watch of the cheese of that. So yeah, I give it a 7, and this has always been a one I love.
The question I was left with at the end is, don't they die? Don't they die? That they die at the end, right?
Don't question it.
All right. Hey, I'm into
only
sequels. So.
Only until
They were very badly injured.
only until part 2.
They went to the hospital,
Yeah.
and that's where 2 starts.
I think that part 2 was like, they're like, didn't they die? Oh, well, we made a lot of money off the first one. They probably made a lot of money, right? You think they did? Nah.
I bet. I think they did decent for what the budget
VHS
was.
times?
Yeah, for what the budget was. Like, I think this was I can't remember, but I feel like this was a more popular, not one of the huge ones, but this is a fairly popular horror movie.
I've always known about
I
it.
would say the video sales is where this.
Yeah.
So,
thrived.
like, I think if you'd look at budget and then how much they actually made off of it, they probably made a good deal of money off the first one.
Yeah, you just wanted to rent it when you saw the.
I don't even know if
front.
this. I don't even know. I'm not sure if this even got a theatrical release.
Probably very limited.
like it did.
We weren't around back then, so.
Yeah, this is before my time.
But
Wait,
you-
no, wait, what year is this?
1982. That's the year I was.
Yeah,
born.
we were one.
Yeah,
You should have known what was going on.
We were one.
I don't ever remember not.
Hold on, let me think.
I've always known of this movie, so it's always been in my world.
Let me think back to one. What movies came out that
What were
year?
you into
Yeah,
back
it's got
then?
a theatrical
Probably different stuff.
Pretty sure I remember watching that one in the theater. It was a double feature at the drive-in with Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, what a good one that would
Still on your mom's teat.
All right. Well, let's get into our last feature film here, In the Mouth of Madness from 1995. The summary for this film: an insurance investigator begins discovering that the impact of a horror writer's books have on his fans is more than inspirational. Directed by John Carpenter, written by Michael DeLuca you'll know him from Freddy's Nightmares and Freddy's Dead. Many noticeable. Well, you got anything? You got any notes? No, he didn't get no notes.
I got notes. I just.
just no detail.
I'm just not going to say them.
There's a lot of noticeable faces amongst the cast. You got your Sam Neill from Jurassic Park fame.
Says Martin Freeman did a good job in there.
You got David Warner, who you'll remember as Professor Jordan Perry from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. John Glover, who was Daniel Clamp on Gremlins 2. Bernie Casey from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Peter Jason from They Live and Prince of Darkness. Charlton fucking Heston. Frances Bay, who you might recognize as Happy Gilmore's grandma. And William von Homburg, who is Vigo, the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2. This is probably the creepiest John Carpenter movie I've ever seen overall, I feel. My favorite moments are all of the Sam Neill interactions with Sutter Kane at the end. I love him fucking with him. I love all of it. I love the whole movie. No matter what happens to Sam Neill at the beginning, though, he just doesn't fucking believe it. He's not gonna go with it at all. He
Not
will
going to roll with it.
No, fucking reality is being bent before his very eyes, and he can't take it. Cool little fun fact about that church. It's an actual cathedral in Canada. So, that if you're looking for a good,
Put that in your pocket.
put that in your travel log and head on up to Canada get your passport. I laughed out loud whenever Sutter Kane pulls the fucking Mr. Burns and releases the hounds. I was like, oh, he's fucking totally doing a Burns. Do you guys know why Carpenter refers to The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness as the Apocalypse trilogy?
Because they all had to do with like world-ending events.
I thought most.
Oh, you didn't know the answer?
No, I didn't.
You were asking.
I was seriously asking, but most horror movies revolve around that sort of world ending or life ending. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, these were because they all, if If Sutter Kane wins, the world is over. If
But
the
like They Live is also kind of.
If the alien gets out, the world is over, and if Satan escapes, the world is over, kind of deal. Because they're supposed to be like events that lead to the apocalypse. I mean, pretty much what
I didn't know if there was something connecting them other than that.
Pretty much what the name implies.
Oh. All right, well, there we go. He shut my ass up. Here's my last little tidbit of a little fun fact. The mental institution at the beginning is just a water filtration plant, and they also use this place for the 2002 Eddie Griffin film, or is it Eddie Griffin? Eddie Griffith, Undercover Brother. So that's fun. That's fun for you
There
guys.
you go. Put that fact in your pocket.
The movie's great from top to bottom. Yeah, I give it a 10. Of course, it's John Carpenter. He's fucking awesome all the time. But what do you think about this, Jason?
Well, it is the third installment of the Apocalypse trilogy. This has a great plot, great acting. It looks good, feels good. Soundtrack is good as expected with most of Carpenter's movies. This may be Carpenter's last great movie. I can't think of one that I would call great after.
What comes after? I can't even think.
Just take my word for it.
I don't know chronology enough.
And this might be the greatest trilogy ever.
You could be right.
I mean, Evil Dead is really up there for me.
Yeah.
Night, Day, and Dawn is really up there for me.
This was a strong entry.
I mean,
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars isn't even a trilogy.
I think this might be my favorite one. I don't know. Evil Dead's hard. It's hard to top that.
Basket
for me,
case.
That's not.
Now we're cooking.
But anyway, I gave this an 8.
I give this one a 10.
Woo!
What'd
You know what that means? I give it a 10 too. I think I always give John Carpenter a 10.
The only reason, I think The Thing for me is a 10. This ain't quite up there with the thing for me. And then, did I give Prince of Darkness a 9?
I don't know.
Because I think I like Prince of Darkness a little bit better than this.
Yeah,
that's why I went.
Prince of Darkness I gave it an 8 or a 9, one of the two.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
remember.
up there. It was definitely approved.
It's my least favorite of the three. I mean, still amazing movie, but I have trouble. I don't know which I would say I like more between this and The Thing. The Thing, the story hits on everything that I love most. Like, this is easily my favorite story of the three. Like the fact that it has to do with a horror writer writing horror that has become its reality warping. It's probably one of the best jobs anyone has done of making that Lovecraft feel brought to the screen. Even though it has nothing to do with Lovecraft. It's not a Lovecraft story, but it really nails on all the feelings that he always had. And
feelings, Frank.
Feelings.
Jeez.
No crying this time, guys. No crying.
So story-wise, and Carpenter kills it. Everything is perfect in it. So story-wise, this is easily my favorite of the three. But when you get The Thing, you got Kurt Russell and the special effects.
You got monsters and snow. That's what separates it from this movie.
So I mean, the
setting is horrifying.
Yeah, this story I think is the best story. The Thing has Kurt Russell and weird monsters exploding out of other monster kind of thing. So I don't, but I imagine you guess what I would give The Thing as well. But yeah, this one's a 10 for me. I can't. What I like about each of them is different, but they're both at the tops of my horror list. They're amazing movies. So if you haven't watched this by chance,
yeah, this is my first time watching it.
Absolutely go watch it. It's just fantastic.
Another approved film. Woo! Well, that's our selections for this episode. Got a little results of our poll that I put up for the top 10 movies of 1995 according to the people in our group. Number 10 is a three-way tie between Outbreak, Children of the Corn, or no, it's a two-way tie. Outbreak and Children of the Corn 3. Number 9, these are the most popular, the people have seen, the most people have seen these. Number 9, a three-way tie with Vampire in Brooklyn, The Prophecy, and Lord of Illusions. Number 8 is a two-way tie with Leprechaun 3 and Village of the Damned. Number 7 is Tales from the Hood. Number 6, Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. Number 5, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. Number 4, Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers. And number 3, Species. Number 2, Demon Knight. And number 1, Seven.
Yeah, I looked through that list. There were only a couple I hadn't watched. I think you say this was 95?
Yeah.
I went to the theater a lot in 95 because I remember watching, let me see that list. I remember watching Seven and Demon Knight, Species, Curse of Michael Myers.
Species was in the theater?
Yeah.
Didn't we watch Species together?
Yeah, me and Jason went.
Whoa.
Janny took us out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like maybe even Village of the Damned. Like I watched, not only did I watch almost everything on the list in 95, I watched almost all of them in the theater. That was a busy year.
There was a lot of good movies that came
for
out in
14-year-old Jared.
And one of the ones that I really want people to check out is Lord of Illusions. It's fucking great. Is that Clive Barker?
It is Clive Barker.
Yeah, watch that if you haven't seen it. Doing a new thing. You're trying to do a new thing. If you guys feel like sending us mail, we'll read it. We're going to call this the last Roundup Horror Show Mailbag, huh?
Mailbag. You going to do a little song for it?
No.
No. He'll put something up, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I probably will. Anyways, this is our first email. Didn't get a lot, so just got one today. Hey, how's
not the response he was hoping for.
No, but send them in. zombietakeovertelevision@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us. We'll read them.
And don't just post them because then everybody can read them. It's not even fun for the show. Fuck it. Anyways, here we go. Hey, how is it possible to fit all of you in the same room at the same time with Jared's ego? Like, I imagine there's just this giant 9-foot, 400-pound shadow monster sitting in the middle of all of you.
Hi, Randy.
When there's a little silence, it chimes in with that same sort of voice like Milton Berle if he gargled hot asphalt. When's the rainbow of death? When's the rainbow of death? What? Randy? No, it's not Randy. It says it's not Randy. It can't be him. Where's the rainbow of death segment? That's why the talent's here, not for any of this other shit. So how's that work? Love the show. Thanks. Sincerely, Ladnar Nettow. Definitely not Randall Woden. So, where is the rainbow of death?
We're shutting the reading Rainbow of Death down for a little while. I'm reading some books of people that either probably wouldn't talk to me or have already talked to me, and I was thinking about reading some books of people that I could talk to, but I want to read these other books instead, and I've been busy.
Aren't you reading a bunch of...
Have you tried to go after people that you don't
know
already
personally?
know? Like, are you taking a break and then coming around and reading these same authors' new stuff again, or are you going to venture out?
Both, but yeah, I mean, right now I'm reading a book called Mad Dogs, which has been really good so far. If you want to read it, by Nate Southard, I think his name is. But Orford Parrish just put out another book. I don't even know. I'm in that, but yeah, there's stuff. I finished To Kill an Archangel, which was part 2 of Curtis Lawson, who I talked to not too long ago. I got that one done, and I wanted to read that. I didn't want to. I've been busy, and I didn't want to mess with it.
So
for
basically,
a while.
what it is, as soon as Randy puts out a horror book, you all of a sudden just stop doing reading Rainbow of Death.
That was part of it.
He killed it for you, didn't he?
That was part of it. But no. I know there's stuff coming out. There's stuff that's been put out that is either people I've already talked to or probably people that wouldn't talk to me, and I got to get a hold of them and do the interviews. And I've just had other things going on, and since I really did it to try to get other people to read these authors' books so I could talk to people about the books, and no one's talking to me about these books. I assumed that I'll just go ahead and read some stuff, and I can drop in little tidbits in the show here and there, just tell people to read it, and it'll probably do just as much and won't won't demand me to read certain things when maybe I'm in the mood to read others. Like Orford Parrish just put out a new book, and it's a collection of
short stories.
Short stories
Because that seems to be all anyone writes.
by
It's weird.
It's a collection of short stories.
The thing I think is really weird is you don't like anthology movies, but you read a lot of short story books.
I wasn't really big on anthology books either for a long time. Till this last year, I picked up a few for specific authors' stuffs, and but with books, I can jump around when I'm reading them. Like I got these anthologies, I don't read them all. I read some of the stories, move to another one, some of the stories. But in indie writing, it just seems easier to get short stories published, and probably takes less time to write them than a full novel. So full novels don't come out as often, or I would probably read them. Rab has a novel coming out, I think, in August called Camp. Well, we talked to him about it. I don't got to plug that one, but yeah, there's some stuff that I'm reading.
And you were just on
Joseph Pastula. That's who Orford Parrish's new book is by.
But you were just on Spooklights not too long ago.
I was.
You don't say.
Is that? I haven't listened to it yet. I downloaded it. Is there a second part coming that you guys haven't played yet, or have you already recorded that?
No, we ran out of time that night. We were going to get back to it, but I had something one week. We had a show the next week. I think he had some stuff. Tom had some stuff going on, so we're just like, we'll schedule another time.
I've got it downloaded and it's in a folder. I'm just waiting on the rest of it because I don't want to listen to it till it's all the way done. I don't want to be on a cliffhanger shit.
People get busy.
Yeah.
So we haven't had time to get to it. That's kind of why I shut down the Reading Rainbow of Death for a while.
Wow. Well,
and because Randy was going to be my next guest, and I wanted to shut it down before he was on. That's the other reason.
I have his book in my bag over there if you want to.
You will never be on my show, Randy.
If you want to do a live read.
He gave me a copy of his book at the show we had there in Columbus.
And you already read it?
No, I haven't.
I'll tell you what, it's good.
But I also haven't read the book that Jared gave me for Christmas.
Oh, well, he's got a lot of reading.
I'm backed up. I got 2 books.
He's got 2 books on the queue.
2 books in my house.
He didn't give me one. He sold it to me.
Yeah, sucker ass.
All right.
Maybe you're giving out free promo to the wrong
like
people,
it,
Randy.
all that. Do it. Like it. Do it.